Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are doing a house slash garden renovation video. So I've decided to move my house. Don't get me wrong, I'm really obsessed with this area that I chose for my house in the beginning. I really like it, but I really wanted a garden. I really wanted more space around my house to decorate, so I decided to move it, and I've decided to move it to where my marketplace was. So if you guys watched my first ever decorating video, then you know that the first thing that I did was create a marketplace. And I really liked it. I really thought it was nice, but I also felt like maybe it was taking up too much space. So what I did was I moved the marketplace from its original spot on the second tier of my island. I moved it down towards the beach, and it's a lot smaller now, but I'm really happy with it. I think it suits kind of being towards the beach. So I moved it there, and now this is the space where our house is gonna go. As usual with these design videos, I had no idea what exactly I wanted this new housing area to look like. I just know I needed some space to execute it, and this was like a good space on my island to do it. So yeah, that's where we started. We started off with this huge fenced off area, and I wanted to keep all the flowers that were already around there just because literally, like, before I decided to do this, I literally just added those flowers to the area, so I wanted to keep them around. So that was the plan. The first step was to remove all of the fencing that was originally in the area. This was kind of sad just because I remember how long it took me to make the fences, but now we were taking them down. And then also I had to remove all the flooring that I'd also put down in the area. Again, kind of sad just because I remember how long it took me to put down the flooring in the first place, but I wanted to start fresh. I wanted to have grass in the area, so that's what we're doing. We're taking away all of the flooring. And then once that was done, the next step was to figure out where exactly I wanted to put the house. So I tried a few different kind of spots for the house, but I kind of decided I wanted it to be more over to the right. I did consider putting it right in the middle of the space, but something about that didn't feel right to me. So we ended up settling on a little space towards the right hand corner. And then also I wanted some separation between my house garden area from the rest of the island and the rest of this tier of the island, because as you can see behind the garden area, literally all I have is all these fences and all these flowers to breed my flowers. So I wanted some separation from that, so I decided to add a cliff behind my house. Did consider adding waterfalls, don't get me wrong. I've seen many an Animal Crossing house with fountains and waterfalls behind it, but I decided not to go for that, and just kept it with a cliff for now. It is kind of a small cliff just behind the house, but I think I might add and make it bigger once I'm kind of done with my flower breeding area. So yeah, originally I did try to add some kind of river flowing through here because I love using the water in Animal Crossing for decorative purposes. I feel like everyone loves to use a lot of water just because it's like the only other big decorative thing that we have. It's like a lot of water or a lot of cliffs. So yeah, once that wasn't really working for me, I decided to go all the way back to where my house actually was because I needed some furniture for the area. This is literally how unplanned this video was. I was like, I need a house area, but I didn't even know what I wanted to put in it. So that's when I decided to take some time and go through literally every single DIY I had and start crafting things so that I could start decorating this area. So most of the things that you guys will see in my garden area ended up being DIY projects. And it was really hard to find the projects that I wanted to use because I've used a lot of the DIY objects already outside around my island, so I didn't want this to look like, you know, just like the same as every other part of my island with the same kind of objects. But I did end up using some repetitive objects, but to stop them from looking kind of repetitive, I decided to use some customization kits and start customizing things so that they looked a little bit different. So I did some customizing to make some furniture, and then once I had the furniture, I also thought it would be nice to have some trees in the area. So I went around my island to see if I could dig up some trees that I could use, because I didn't want to plant new ones because I had tons of trees around my island. Like you guys have seen, I keep my island very like green and foresty. So I lifted some trees from around the island that looked a little crowded and started to put them around as well. So once I got to the area and I was putting down my trees and stuff, I kind of realized that while this looked like a big space to begin with, once I had my house in place and I started to put stuff down, it's not that big actually. Like it looks really big, but then I started to put stuff down and I realized it was kind of small. Which I feel like everyone feels like on their island. Like everyone feels like their island is massive when they start, then they get used to the island and then, you know, they think their island is tiny because they spent so much time on it. Well, that's how I kind of felt as soon as I started to put stuff down. I was like putting little furniture bits here and there, and then I was like, wow, there's not as much space as I thought there was. But yeah, I'm nothing if not efficient with the spaces that I have on my island. So yeah, once I kind of have my area kind of fenced off and I started to put things down, it just sort of fell together on its own. I mean, I feel like once I decided on the DIY objects that I was going to use in the area, it did kind of just fall together, which I guess turns out really great for me, because anytime I've done one of these decorating videos, things have kind of just worked out and it's been okay. The only time that I think that anything's ever gone wrong or hasn't gone to my style was originally I was going to do like a pool area where I moved my marketplace to, so like by the beach in front of those houses, but it wasn't really working for me and it looked kind of weird, so I scrapped that video idea and I didn't make it. Luckily I hadn't done too much, it was just a bit of terraforming that I just tore down and it was all fine. But yeah, like so far most of the things that I've done on my island have turned out the way I wanted them to, and so that's been really nice, just because I wouldn't have to spend so much time redecorating and everything and changing my mind. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure sometime in the future I'm going to completely hate everything I've done on my island and want to redesign the entire thing. But you know, for the most part, everything's kind of been the way I wanted it to. And even though I did end up like moving my marketplace and stuff, like the original idea and the original concept still like stayed the same. So yeah, I'm just really glad that everything is sort of like coming together on my island and it's looking really great. And so yeah, once I put the furniture down, all that was left was kind of just to do some finishing touches. So by that I mean I was just kind of adding some more furniture where I felt like I needed to, and also putting down like paths and things like that, just to make the place look a little more homey. And I actually feel like the end product kind of gave me like farm vibes, but I'm still really happy with the way that it turned out. And of course I'm not going to leave this video with me running around in the middle of the night in the dark where you can't really see anything. I'm going to jump ahead to a few days later when my house is there and you guys can see the complete product. So this is my completed house / garden area. I'm super happy with the way this turned out. I really like the way it's giving me like a farm kind of vibe. I wasn't really sure initially what this was going to be when I started, just because literally my first idea was like, I'm gonna move my house, I want a garden, and then I literally didn't have any furniture or anything to put down, but I feel like we've like turned it out and it looks really well. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this decorating video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And let me know in the comments below what kind of theme you went for your house and your garden, because I know that everyone's house aesthetic is different and things like that. So like, let me know what kind of vibe you were going for. As always, I do wish that you guys could attach pictures so that I could see them, but if you have like a Twitter or something that you want to link it to me and I'll check it out, then that would be cool. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!